Welcome to NIOS. Today we will study part 4 of chapter 19. Our topic is structure of Indian family. In the previous video we learnt about the concept of ashrama system in ancient India. We also learnt about the 4 stages of life. These 4 stages were Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas ashram. We learnt about the duties of a person during these 4 stages of his life. We also learnt about the meaning and concept of sanskaras and the Jajmani system. Learners, family is the basic unit of society. In India, the family is considered as an important institution. The traditional Indian family is a group of many people. In such family, people of one or more generations live together. This is known as joint family. Such kind of family is generally patriarchal and patrilineal. Let us understand these two new terms now. Patriarchal family is that family in which the father is the head of the family and patrilineal family means that family in which only a man can become the next head of the family and not any women. However, in some parts of the country, there are matrilineal families, which means that only women could become the head of the family. For example, in the state of Kerala, Nagaland and Meghalaya, however, in today's time, mostly nuclear families exist in our society, which consist of the husband, wife and their children. Thus, we learn that family is the basic unit of society. The close relation between the member of a family gives social security to them, as in times of need a person could ask for his family members' help. Learners, as family is a group of people, therefore, during ancient times, some laws were made to run the family peacefully. In India, there were two schools of law and customs called as Mitakshara and Dayabag. These laws are followed by the people of India even today. While most families of Bengal and Assam follow the Daya Bhaga system, the rules of Mitakshara system The rules of Mitakshara system are followed in the rest of India. Learners, now that we have learnt about the concept of family, let us now learn about another very important Hindu samskara called as marriage. There are many kinds of marriages. We will discuss them one by one. First is that marriage in which the bride and the groom and GROOM belonged to different castes. In this category, the first name is Anulom marriage. When a man of high caste married a woman of lower caste. The second kind of marriage is Pratiloma marriage. In this, a man of lower castes married a high caste woman. The second kind of marriage is based on the number of spouses. The first one is polygamy. When a man married more than one woman, it was called polygamy. And the second kind of marriage in this is polyandry. When a woman married more than one man, it was called polyandry. Learners, we all know about the story of Mahabharata. In this, Draupadi married 5 Pandavas' brother. Yudhishthira, the second brother is Bhim, third brother is Nakul, the fourth is Sahadev, the fifth Pandav is Arjuna. Polyandry is still practiced in some parts of the country. In such marriage, the woman generally marries many brothers of the same family. Traditionally, in India, marriages have been fixed by parents for their children. It is generally observed that both the girls and the boy belong to the same caste but different gotras. That means they do not have common ancestors. Another important factor that is considered for marriage is pravara. Pravara means those relatives between whom marriage is not allowed. According to the Pravara rules, no marriage can be performed between people who have a common ancestor within 7 generations from father's side and a common ancestor within 5 generations from mother's side. However, in South India, there is no restriction on Pravara marriages. That means marriages between cousins are legally and socially accepted there. Since ancient times, monogamy has been practiced in India, in which a person married only one person at a time. However, polygamy was also not prohibited. The rich and powerful people married many times. However, the practice of polygamy has now been declared illegal in our country. According to the ancient Hindu religious book, there was no place for divorce. However, in Arthashastra, divorce could be taken on certain conditions. In modern times also, divorce is allowed in India. Learners, Let us now study about a very important part of society: women. Do you know that women enjoyed a very high status during the ancient times? However, their position became bad later. We will try to understand this with the help of some examples. During Vedic period, there was no difference in the status of man and woman. Women could become writers, teachers, and scholars. Women were free to marry the man of their own choices in a ceremony called as Swayamvara. In fact, the women could participate in all the activities like men. The only activity that they could not attend was wars. However, women's position in the society started to decline during the post-Vedic period, as they lost all the right over property except Stridhana that was given to them by their parents at the time of marriage. They were not even allowed to get educated. During the medieval period, the condition of women deteriorated further. The main duty of women was to get married and take care of their family. Only few upper caste women could gain education and they become poets and writers, while the common woman could not even learn to read and write. Thus, we see that the condition of women has been low in the society except during the Vedic period. During medieval period, many social evils further deteriorated women's condition, like Sati Pratha. Sati Pratha is the burning of widow with her husband. And child marriage was another social evil that lowered the position of women, as girls were married at an early age and therefore girls could not get education. Young girls were married to men with older age, and in case they died, the young widow were not allowed to remarry. Parda Pratha, or the practice of covering faces of women, also started. The Arabs brought this custom to India, and later it became common among North Indian high castes. However, Lower caste women were free to move and work in the society and did not cover their faces. With the coming of British to India, modern education was spread among Indians. Social reformers worked very hard to improve the condition of women. For example, due to the efforts of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, the custom of sati was banned in the year 1829. By the British government. In the year 1856, the Widow Remarriage Act was passed that allowed the marriage of Hindu widows. Learners, can you tell the name of that social reformer who worked for widow remarriage? His name was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. After independence, the government had taken many steps to improve the condition of women. As a result, women have made great progress in all the fields of life. However, still a lot of needs to be done in this direction. Let us now revise what we have learned in this lesson today. First, we learnt about the concept of family and its features. Second, we also learnt about the various types of marriages like polygamy, polyandry, anuloma and pratiloma, etc. Next, we also learned about the condition of women during ancient time, medieval time and modern times in India. And at last, we learned the role of social reformers in improving the condition of women. If you have any query, you can send us email at signlanguage@nios.ac.in. For more information, you can visit our website at www.nios.ac.in. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो। मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने, स्वयं बने हम
घर बैठे पाएं राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान यानी NIOS में एडमिशन, वो भी एकदम आसान तरीके से, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को होगी समय और धन दोनों की बचत। NIOS से शिक्षा कभी भी कहीं भी। शिक्षार्थियों, क्या आप जानते हैं NIOS में एडमिशन लेने का सरल और सुगम तरीका, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को ऑनलाइन प्रवेश लेने में सहूलियत मिलती है। NIOS में प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया पूर्णतया ऑनलाइन है। शिक्षार्थी घर बैठे इंटरनेट द्वारा प्रवेश के लिए सबसे पहले NIOS की वेबसाइट www.nios.ac.in पर लॉगिन करें। अपना ईमेल आईडी और पासवर्ड डालकर अपना पंजीकरण करें। पंजीकरण के बाद लॉगिन करने पर ऑनलाइन प्रवेश हेतु आवेदन पत्र खुलेगा। आवेदन पत्र को निर्देशानुसार भरें और प्रिंट आउट लें। इस प्रिंट आउट पर अपनी फोटो संलग्न करें। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश के लिए शुल्क हेतु भुगतान के तरीके हैं: क्रेडिट कार्ड के द्वारा, डेबिट कार्ड के द्वारा, राष्ट्रीयकृत बैंक के ड्राफ्ट के माध्यम से, जो कि सचिव NIOS नई दिल्ली या नोएडा के पक्ष में देय हो। भरे हुए आवेदन पत्र के साथ साथ डिमांड ड्राफ्ट और संलग्न किए जाने वाले दस्तावेज हैं: जन्म रजिस्ट्रार के जिला कार्यालय से जारी जन्म प्रमाण पत्र की सत्यापित प्रति, जिसमें जन्म तिथि अंकित हो, पिछले विद्यालय से प्राप्त विद्यालय छोड़ने का प्रमाण पत्र, जिसमें आवेदक की जन्म तिथि लिखी हो। प्रवेश फॉर्म का प्रिंट आउट NIOS के संबद्ध क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों पर 10 दिनों में पहुंच जाना चाहिए, अन्यथा उचित दस्तावेज न लगे होने पर आवेदन फॉर्म रद्द किया जा सकता है। प्रवेश प्रक्रिया की पुष्टि होने के बाद शिक्षार्थियों को परिचय पत्र व अध्ययन सामग्री डाक द्वारा तुरंत पहुंचाई जाती है। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश एक बहुत ही सुगम और सुविधाजनक प्रवेश प्रणाली है। ऑनलाइन ऑन टाइम फॉर सेफ एंड सिक्योर एडमिशन।